Hey, everybody, welcome to Meat Men, your source for all things steak. I'm Adrian, and of course, I'm joined by Rich, the Porterhouse Stambolian.
That's right, baby. Just call me Mr. Smoothcock.
Yeah. What's going on, Rich?
What were you looking at right there when you did the intro?
I was looking here.
Oh,
this guy.
I thought you were looking like back here, like something distracted you.
Hi, welcome to Meat Men. Guys, this is not about meat. This is all about professional wrestling. A lot of meat in
Kind
wrestling.
of about meat.
It kind of is about meat. How you doing, Rich?
I'm doing very well. I took a shower, played some basketball this morning.
Nice.
Feeling real nice. How about you?
I feel great.
Yeah.
Good day. Today's gonna be a good day.
Yeah.
I'm selling some
like
new ads. I got a lot
Nice.
of stuff is moving right now. I got a
Nice.
new car. I don't know if you guys heard. I am officially in my midlife crisis phase where I have a man bun. I'm letting my hair grow like one of the Jackson boys, like the Young Bucks.
The Jackson 5. Oh.
Nick Jackson, Matt Jackson, the Jacksons. I'm gonna let my hair grow out. I'm letting my beard grow out, and I bought a Mustang GT.
You're gonna be like the neighborhood Jason Momoa. You should get tribal tattoos.
That's what I'm gonna do, man.
Do you really feel like you're going through a midlife crisis?
I think I've hit the point.
You're 35?
My jeans are way too tight. 36.
Yeah, you're fine. You have another 15 years.
I've kind of reinvented myself into a middle school kid. I wear Jordans now with really tight pants. Jordans.
Are you committed to dying at 70? Is this what you're telling everybody?
Yeah, pretty much 73.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
midlife 73.
Oh boy.
I've hit the that phase of my life.
This is the hump.
This is the hump, man. I got the itch. You know, it's funny because I had my Subaru. That was my first car that I bought. I was 17 years old and I bought that car cash, and I never sold it.
Oh wow.
Okay, I hung on to that car forever.
Yeah.
I really had and I think a lot of guys could understand this. Maybe some don't, maybe some do. But I had like this emotional connection to the car.
Absolutely.
That it was,
yeah.
you know, it was. I bought it one of the most fun summers of my life. It was the first time that you feel independent. I was 17 years old. You know, you're driving around. I had the cool car, and I never got rid of the car. And it broke down about a year ago. And then I had our friend, the Skinny Pig. Actually, guys, check her out. Great food blogger. I bought her 97 Prelude.
You should say that that's her and that's her handle.
Her handle.
Not what you call her.
No, I don't call her this. Sometimes I do. I call her way worse things. Dara, her handle's the Skinny Pig NYC on Instagram. Great food blogger, food reviewer. I bought her car for $300 because it didn't run.
No.
And my intention was to fix it. You know, 97 Prelude, had 42,000 miles on it. Yeah, brand new. It sat in my driveway, and we were going to do the driveway at this point. This was like a couple weeks ago, and I had to make the decision: do I fix these cars up or do I dump them? And I sent them to the repair guy, and he's like, "Dude, this thing's going to cost you like $5,000."
Yeah.
The Subaru just to get up and running is going to cost $5,000. The Prelude is going to cost another $3,000, and then I got to paint it. I got to do this, so it was going to be like a $12,000 investment.
Yeah.
On two 20-year-old cars. I said, "Fuck it." Jess goes, "Why don't we buy a new car?" I said, "Yeah, I don't know what to buy." She goes, "You want a sports car, right?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Go buy a Mustang." And that's what I did.
That's nice.
I got a black Mustang GT.
Beautiful.
It is loud. It's obnoxious.
I'm sure.
It's very obnoxious, and I'm overcompensating for sure. Yep. Tiny dinkle. Tiny
Little
dinkle.
ding dong. When are you gonna get a mistress? Is that at 40?
The Gumad?
Or yeah.
I got a couple years for the Gumad.
Yeah.
Listen,
Little side piece.
Yeah, little get a Gumad. That's it. That's the next thing. Baby, make sure you don't wear your heels in the car. My wife sees them in the carpet.
Don't leave your lipstick in the car like you did last time. I had to make up a thing where I'm using the lipstick. I'm trying something new.
Yeah. We are going to talk about wrestling, but you know, fuck it. We're at the end of the world. Might as well blow your money on ridiculous stuff.
Are you spiraling?
You know what?
Is this the top of the spiral?
No. I'm doing a lot better. About a couple of weeks ago, I started spiraling, where it started like caving in the walls. I'm way better now.
You sure?
Way better now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm hanging on.
Okay.
I stopped drinking as much.
see.
I think that helped. No more whiskey. I can't do it.
Really?
That stuff is no good for me. Makes me go cuckoo.
Were you drunk when you got the Mustang?
No, stone sober.
Okay.
I drank on the way home
At
though.
the dealer.
At the dealer. And then I got in the car and I
You
peeled
guys
out.
don't know the mistake you just made.
No, it's great. I'm very happy with it. I've waxed the car about every single day.
When are you going to take me for a ride?
Let's go.
When are you going to take me for a photo shoot in the car?
Oh, yeah. Sexy photo shoot?
Do some Matt Men photos in that car.
Dude, so Jess ordered like short shorts and it came in the wrong size. And I put them on.
Yeah.
and I want to do a photo shoot. Me in the short shorts, the
Sure.
Daisy Dukes.
Yeah.
That's what
Just
I'm going to do.
laying on the hood of the
Just
car.
leaning on the hood of the car.
Ugh, amazing.
Guys, a lot to talk about today. A lot of professional wrestling. A lot of news. I don't know where to begin, Rich, because we obviously have Raw. We have SmackDown for Friday, which I want to touch on the ending, the terror attacks. Again,
It's so weird.
the Antifa terror attacks that are happening. I want to talk about Bray Wyatt possibly getting a stable again. And Raw Underground, and then obviously AEW, Velveteen Dream. Do you want to start with that?
Yeah, dude. So last night they're doing this. Is this because Dexter Lumis got hurt that they're kind of redoing the United States title tournament?
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I don't know exactly what the story is with this because everybody went silent. I had a feeling he was showing up because I reached out about 2 weeks ago to the person that told me everything. They said, yeah, it doesn't look like he's getting fired. And I said, why? In all caps, exclamation point, question mark.
I reported it.
Yeah, and he goes, yeah, I'm like, you told me he was gone. He goes, yeah, there are a lot of people in the company that like him, and he never admitted to any wrongdoing. So, and the people that were accusing him sort of disappeared.
Oh, wow.
So, I want to be careful with what I say.
Yeah, please.
Okay?
You gotta be.
Do I believe that he did something inappropriate? Yes.
Okay. Sure.
I don't think that's a question here. I know that you could kind of pick at it, but WWE stances, and this is legal, right? How can they know for sure when and also there were a lot of false accusations. There were multiple on him too. They were false, and they were admittedly false. So it kind of muddied it. So it's a lot of hearsay for them. So they don't know how to react to this. If he's saying, no, I never did that. I never said this. I was mentoring. He did say that I believe, based on, because I read about this all night yesterday. I believe he did say that he did talk to some viewers or fans to mentor, I guess, or like he was like giving them advice.
About the business.
No, about like getting in shape.
Okay.
Right? First of all, I don't know, man. You know, essentially what happened is that they feel that maybe he was entrapped into having these conversations.
Okay.
A lot of it, and it seems like he was. It was done purposely to do this. So they don't know how to react to it. There are people within WWE that are big fans of his.
Right.
And they are giving him the benefit of the doubt. Listen, they know more than us. I could only tell you what I was told by someone very close to the situation.
Interesting.
I mean, this is not a friend of a friend of a friend. This is someone that is directly has a relationship with him, and I'm just baffled that it was done in the way that they were doing it. You know, no statement, nothing.
Very bizarre.
They just pretended it didn't happen.
They took him off TV immediately.
Yep.
They laid low. Here's the thing with, I guess, like, listen, we all know WWE loves to make money, right? And I think when this stuff happens, and I'm going to give you like an example, and let me know if you agree with me or not, okay? When this stuff happens, do they look at a guy like Velveteen and say, there's money in this dude. There's going to be money in the future. Let's do what we can. Let's fudge it a little bit, right? As opposed to like that Shrek-looking dude, Lars Sullivan, where they're like, we don't know if there's money with this dude.
Well, he's another one, right? Like,
you know,
you think about Lars. I mean, that's a great example because people forget,
right?
But the Lars situation is, yes, he admittedly did these things and said these things, but he was, and the defense for him is that he was a very confused youth,
right?
Ute. What is a Ute? He was an angry, troubled young man that said stupid, hurtful things.
And then he made a blowjob video.
And then he made a BJ video, which I mean, it just it's self-hatred, maybe I don't want to go into the deep psychological impact of Lars Sullivan's decisions.
But from a company standpoint,
how do you, as a company, and that's the other thing, right? As a
money-making standpoint.
A money-making standpoint, a publicly traded company standpoint that has lawyers and accountability. Do you fire somebody when you don't have definitive proof.
Right.
So you're going to bring up Jack Gallagher and all those guys. Those guys admitted to wrongdoing. Enzo was
good example.
Good example of jumping before the truth was out there. They suspended him, but Enzo ended up. The problem with Enzo was that he was living the gimmick, and they had proof that he was putting himself in vulnerable situations. Right. Like maybe you shouldn't be partying with these people with drugs everywhere. Right.
I'm also not defending any of these people.
No, me either. And by the way, don't think we're defending them
from a non-biased standpoint. And like we don't know what goes on. What's the inner workings of like whatever? Triple H may have gone to Dream and been like, "Listen, kid, it's gonna be all right. Give us a couple of months."
Or maybe he didn't. I don't.
True.
I don't think anybody went to him and said this is gonna be all right. I think what they did was they did an internal investigation and they determined that they cannot determine what happened.
Canyon Seaman did it.
He did it.
He was a private investigator.
He's the private.
And then whenever he gets to the place that the crime happened or investigation, he goes, "Seaman's on the scene."
Seaman's is that his catchphrase?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome. I understand as a corporate entity, right? Because I deal with a lot of these bizarro situations.
Right.
Like this is I work in a very carny industry, and you have to do your due diligence.
Right.
And sometimes there is not 100% definitive proof. I mean, sometimes, listen, where there's smoke, there's fire. I truly believe that.
Right.
My own personal opinion, not something that was said to me. I don't want to put anything on anybody in WWE or anybody close to the situation. Based on what was told to me, I do believe there was a conversation that got made across the line to some extent. Right. Whether how you want to read that, it's up to you.
Right.
Like, I'm going to give you an example, right? I'm going to give you an example. Just totally. If, let's say you're an employee of mine, right?
Okay.
And you're opposite sex, right? Opposite sex. And
do I got...
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
Sure. And I turn around, we're talking, we're via message and whatever, and I say to you, don't worry about it. Be a good girl and you'll do well. Right? Let's say I write that to you. That could be taken
a million different ways.
Right? One could be that I'm being a creep.
Right.
Another one is that I'm talking you off a ledge.
Right.
Like I'm being a little tongue in cheek and I'm talking you off a ledge. You want to maybe do something you shouldn't. You want to get involved with people that you shouldn't.
But then,
right?
But then what if that person responds, "I've always been a bad girl my entire life."
Oh, that's bad then.
But then you'd be like, "All right, get back to work."
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like I'm not. And again, I'm just giving an example.
You call the women that were for you bad girls and good girls.
That's what I say to Rich all the time. He's like, I don't know, man. We gotta do well with the show. We gotta make some money with the show. And I'm like, be a good boy and you'll do well.
Okay.
All right.
I just say okay. Say, Mr. Andrew.
Listen, not to make a joke out of this, right?
Yeah.
But,
no.
I mean, it's a difficult situation, and I'm not defending WWE because based on what was said to me, my reaction was he needs to go.
Right.
Like, okay, this is a problem.
It's terrible. Yeah.
It's bad, but there's so many different variables. Like one was that maybe he was in character when he was messaging these people, and but you should know better, right? But I can't put myself in somebody's situation and say you should know better because I'm not in his thought process.
Right.
We don't know. My opinion, I think he alluded to things. But there's a lot of damage. Like the nude photos. He claimed that he was hacked. That's a problem. But you didn't fire any of the female wrestlers that had their photos leaked. So you can't do the same because he's claiming somebody hacked them.
Right.
Some of these messages are... It could be taken that it's his character. Other times there's a lot of gray, and I think they just said, "Let's see what happens."
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it's I feel weird about all of it. I really do.
Absolutely.
I feel like it's a really weird situation.
It is.
Like if it was one of my employees, let's say it's you, right? How would I react? I'm just again.
I don't know.
I mean, listen, it's different. We have a good relate, but let's say we had another guy doing shows. Right. Let's say we have another guy doing shows with us. And this comes out. And they say, no, I never said that. I never said that. My account was hacked. That's not me. You know, if I know your character outside of this bubble,
right.
I know you better than what the public knows you as. So
Right.
maybe I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt.
But that's still a tough road to hoe. And you
It is a
can't
tough road.
like that.
It's very
like,
tough.
Semantics, hypotheticals, and also us not being in this industry, like we don't know what really happened. And also, it is still I love pro wrestling, but it's still like at the end of the day,
It's gross
it's
business.
gross pro wrestling.
Yeah.
You know, like it's gross carny stuff, which is fine. You know, that's what it is. But I think it's like to corral these personalities takes so much work and strength that it's insane. And also, I think that has a lot to do with why the product is so watered down, because they don't let these guys get out of hand.
Yeah.
You know, like, and we always talk about if social media were around, let's say in the heyday of
1986.
Well, let's say Shawn Michaels click pill popping MFers left and right. Like, imagine what these dudes got away with. That wasn't even a thing at that point.
Yeah.
You know, like between Razor, Nash, Michaels, and Kidd, like,
And Nash was the best one.
right. Well,
You know, he was
Hunter
the
was the
teetotaler.
best one.
Hunter
right?
was the best one because he's the teetotaler, but Nash really didn't drink.
Right.
He wasn't into drugs. I think it's a fascinating discussion to have, and I think we're going to continue this. I don't think this is going to go away because he's back. Dave D in our chat room says Snuka never admitted to anything either. Snuka did admit. He admitted that he gave multiple versions of the story.
Right.
And I think that was part of the problem with Snuka, is that he did say that he was with the person. It wasn't, if Snuka said I don't know her, I never did that, that'd be a very different discussion.
Yeah.
Also, a very different era. You know,
Exactly.
100% there was wrongdoing on Jimmy Snuka's part. I just, it is interesting, right? How we are able to just ignore things for certain people.
It's the separation of the artist and the art, right? So, like, does this diminish Dream in your eyes? Because both of us were very high on him.
Very high. I think he's one of my favorite characters on TV. There's depth. That's why. Right? It's a deep character.
Great on the mic, great work rate, great look.
Yeah.
Now, is he diminished now because of all this stuff? Are you just kind of like, sucks?
I don't know yet, because I was not angry, but I was like, ugh, you know, like I felt yuck.
Right. It's the same. Like, I always ask my buddies, like, we all grew up in the 80s, 90s, right? Like, how much do you love Michael Jackson?
Dude, one of the greatest of all time.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, everybody across the board that
Yeah.
I know who are reasonable human beings are like, yo, Michael's the best. Like, I love this and that. But that's another thing. Like,
He put himself in very bizarre situations. But you could tell, like, the guy obviously had a case of arrested development. He had a regressed adulthood where he fantasized about being a child because he never had a child. He was abused. There's a lot of issues there with that guy. Since he was born, he was an entertainer. He never had a real life. So, listen, for many, many years, I was one of those people that yelled and screamed that Michael Jackson abused these kids. I'm not denying that he did.
right.
But maybe there was a chance that he was just mentally regressed and he put himself in very bad situations. You know, like I watched this great interview with Macaulay Culkin, and he's kind of the one that kind of sold me on the fact that Michael didn't do anything. But he didn't do anything with Macaulay Culkin.
Right.
I don't know. I don't have an answer. I don't know. That it's very damning, that those documentaries. Very damning. And it's sad. I feel bad for the people that listen, if I don't know how I feel about Michael, but I feel bad about the people that are accusing him of these things, because either you are really mentally disturbed that you truly believe this, or you were put through something horrific.
Right. Well,
So
my question was, like, like you said, it's like sometimes human nature that you kind of gloss over stuff, right?
Yeah.
Now, the separation of art and artist is a fascinating concept, right? Like, so Michael's on one end of that, Velveteen's on one end of that, right? And then you have like R. Kelly,
which is
a
real predator.
Dude's like, you know,
gaslighting and grooming. Listen, you know, the Velveteen's thing, you know, he didn't touch anybody.
Yeah.
But did he gaslight these kids and it's a really not so great situation. That's what I'm going to say. I don't want to. There's some other things that were said to me. I don't want to repeat it, because I really it was said to me. I could tell that it was said to me with anger about him, through someone that's close to it. So I don't want to repeat it because I don't know if that's an emotional reaction or if that's an actual, you know, like I'm very careful. Like Rich and I think a lot of people forget we are given so much information, so much, and admittedly, I sit on a lot of stuff because I don't want to be the guy that puts it out there sometimes.
Right.
Like, I'm not talking about, you know, sexual assaults. I'm not talking about something like that, right? Like, the Velveteen Dream, I said the story because I was told by somebody very close to this.
Yeah, you got the guy.
And he was right. And he was right about everything that happened.
Is this the most real conversation we had on Mad Men?
I think so, yeah. And I try to keep the show light, and I want to do jokes, and I want to kind of sometimes, you know, it becomes a real topic.
Let's start with the jokes after this.
We're very deep. There's a lot of depth to this. I'm very conflicted on what to say about it.
Listen, like, you can't dismiss it by saying it is what it is, but it's just, again, it's one of those bizarre situations that we're not privy to. You know, that the audience or the world is not. We're not TMZ. Nobody's getting in there with microphones and being like, what's this?
And that's not what we do.
Blah,
yeah.
blah, you know.
And listen, in talking to, you know, as you guys know, I have a good relationship with Brian Alvarez. I have a good relationship with Sean Ross Sapp. You know, even Dave Bixenspan has posted stuff that we've said. I'm very big on my credibility.
Right.
I'm very careful with that stuff. And I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care if you think my show's stupid. I don't care. But I don't want to ever be that guy where I'm not credible in something. Right. So I sit on stuff and I wait, and then I could give the details. You know, because stuff changes all the time. Every time stuff changes. Like, here's a great example. SummerSlam. Right? SummerSlam has been where is this? I just got an update about SummerSlam, actually.
Backyard.
Oh, it's in Florida. Okay, so SummerSlam is...
No, it's not in Florida.
SummerSlam is going to take place in my backyard. That's why we prepped the whole thing. So SummerSlam is a great example of this. So it was originally going to be in the Performance Center. Right. Then it was going to be a live show in Florida. Right? They were going to do Florida. Then they were going to do New Jersey. They wanted to do Jersey.
The Meadowlands.
Jersey, I guess, couple days before they were going to make the decision, pulled the outdoor venue attendance to like nothing. They didn't get okayed. They were still going to run the Northeast. Okay. Now it's coming out. They are running Florida, but it's not the Performance Center. I'm being told it possibly is the Amway Center.
Florida's pretty much shut down, though, right?
Well, AEW had people. AEW had people in attendance. So,
but that seems like a more controlled environment. Whereas, like, they canceled. You know how, like, New Japan's doing the Summer Struggle?
Yeah.
They canceled the last one
because somebody got sick.
Because one of the workers apparently got sick, and they were just like, "Yo, everybody in here is getting a refund. You're all going the F home." Yeah. You know. So, I don't know, man. It's like we live in such bizarre times with this kind of thing.
It's amazing how wrestling has turned into an essential business in Florida at this point.
Listen.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think to kind of move away from the deep Velveteen Dream story, there's a lot that's going to develop here. I'm hanging on to some stuff. Well, maybe we'll talk about it in the coming week. What do you see? What do you see out there?
It's your guys. Okay.
What are they doing?
They're just walking
back and forth.
Back and forth. I think one of them's got a gun.
He's got a gun. He's going to blow his brains out.
No,
it's happening. So
I can't. I'm not going to say.
Tim. I know. Sometimes I that's the other thing too, man. Like, you gotta like censor jokes, you know, because somebody's getting. Sometimes you know how many stuff I want to say and I don't say anymore. Yeah.
Can you take the camera off me?
Yeah, hold on.
If this happened like right there, would we keep doing the show?
I would put the camera right on them.
Oh no,
right on them. I would turn into a muckrake journalist.
Oh, okay. A mukbang journalist.
Mukbang.
Yo, when are we gonna do mukbang stuff?
Is that the thing?
This is the thing when you just eat a lot. And have a camera on
Muckmen.
Muckmen.
The Muckmen.
We got Muckmen. We got Real Men, where we talk about real issues. Yeah. We got Wife Men.
Wife Men.
We got Tub Men.
Tub Men.
This is the Mad Men network.
Yeah.
Network. Let's get neck tattoos.
I want to get a neck tattoo.
Yeah. Mine will say MAT.
Jess is yelling at him.
And then
Do you hear him?
Yours will say Men.
Men. All right. So let's talk about Florida. SummerSlam. It looks like it's going to be in Florida. I haven't confirmed this, but the person that's telling me this is pretty reliable.
Cool.
They're saying Amway Center. I heard outdoors.
Cool.
So the next couple days, listen, How many days do they have left to make a decision? Not too many.
2 weeks?
No, it's next week, dude.
No.
Next Sunday is SummerSlam.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like next, like
Next
the 23rd.
23rd.
Wow. I'm more looking forward to that rescheduled AEW show than SummerSlam.
Which one? Oh, the pay-per-view?
Because the basketball's next week. And then they're moving AEW to that Saturday.
Okay.
You know, I'm more excited for that show than I am for SummerSlam. I don't even know what's going on with SummerSlam. I've been watching Raw and SmackDown, and I'm like, what's happening right now?
It's unfortunate, right? Because
Dominic and Seth, I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, so we'll see what happens with SummerSlam. I am hearing Amway Center. I am hearing outdoors. 2 days ago, I was told still the Northeast. Now I'm being told. This is just happening rapidly. We'll see what happens with that. But what a great weekend that's going to be for wrestling. I don't know if you want to do stuff that weekend. Do some live watch-alongs. Maybe you could come here, hang out. We could watch along or do it online. Yeah. But we're going to have NXT Takeover on Saturday at 8 o'clock. We have...
The 22nd?
Yeah.
Wow, so they're doing, like, counter-program.
6:05. I believe they're going to go live at 6:05.
NXT.
No, AEW on TNT. So pretty cool, right? I think this week they'll push that.
Interesting.
So you're going to have AEW on at 6 p.m. 8 p.m. is NXT Takeover, or 7 p.m. I got to see the time. I can't remember. And then you got SummerSlam the following day, and I believe there's a UFC show happening as well.
Wow. From Fire Island?
Fire Island.
From Fire Island?
Yeah. They're all going to be in thongs, and
it's
going to be fun for them. We should do a show from Fire Island.
Sure.
You want to do it?
Yes.
We'll wear Speedos? Perfect. Only New Yorkers get that reference. Only New Yorkers. But the fun side of Fire Island. The fun side of it. Not the boring side. The fun side of Fire Island. Yeah.
I think people know what Fire Island is.
I don't think so, man.
I think people
You think so?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Absolutely. Spread that word.
Have you ever been?
No.
I've been.
You know,
I've been.
I know a lot of people who were like, "Yo, let's go to Fire Island. Like, it'll be fun." And I was like, I never get invited anywhere, but I'm just like, I kind of missed the boat, literally, on like a lot of the stuff. You know?
The boat is going.
Just missed the boat.
Hey. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. NXT 30 looks really good. We'll talk about that card and a whole lot more. I want to remind everybody, guys, if you enjoy this show, I'm telling you guys, go to patreon.com/MattMenPodcast. Go sign up. What I think we're going to end up doing is a incentive for people to sign up. I have some GFQ merch like this GFQ mug that I have. So if you do a $5 donation, a $5 per month package to sign up to our Patreon, we'll send you one of those. Let me organize the shipping and everything, but I think we'll end up doing that. We want to do some freebies. We want to do some giveaways. Patreon.com/MattMenPodcast. You could go there, fund our Patreon. It allows us to do all these bonus shows that we do, like watch-alongs and Matt Men After Dark and things like that we do. We've been putting it out for everybody to consume, but you guys, the patrons, are the ones that are funding this project. So I really appreciate that. Also, if you're watching here on YouTube, you could go subscribe, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, subscribe to us. We're everywhere podcasts are available. We're almost at 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. Hopefully, we'll be at 5,000 by the end of the year. That's my goal, and then 10,000 next year. So we'll see what happens. Chris says, if I sign up, can I have Rich's phone number?
Chris who?
Chris in our chat room. Christopher.
If it's Chris Sapita, absolutely.
It is Chris Sapita.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Chris Sapita.
I'll even send him
a
picture of the old Rumpelstiltskin.
A little OnlyFans from Rich.
Little OnlyFans.
All right, I'm into it. So thank you. I appreciate everybody tuning in and hanging out with us. We've been doing the show for God knows how many years, and it gets. You know what? One thing, I have more and more fun as we do the show. Honestly, and it's a rarity, right? Because doing shows like this, you kind of get bored sometimes. I don't feel that at all, ever. I never get bored with this. This is just one of the. This is really almost like a mental health show.
I think sometimes you have your
meltdowns,
your borderline Alzheimer's moments.
Yeah, I do,
and
I forget. I shut down.
I think you have your senior moments sometimes.
Dude, you know what it is? I think what happens for me is if my morning ends up getting derailed, like I have a very
before the show.
But
you're up early too.
I'm up early. I get up at 5:30 every day, but also during the show, if I get messaged, like a crisis, I can't turn it off. So what I do, I just shut off my messages on my phone now. So I don't want to see anything until the show's over. I go into do not disturb and I don't look at anything.
It's all those people that you called bad boys and bad girls.
Bad boys and bad girls.
You want to do takeover the card for takeover?
You know what? Let's do Raw.
Okay.
Right. What do you think? There's a couple variables here for Raw.
Shoot.
What do you think of Raw Underground?
It's silly. I like it. I think
I really love it.
I honestly, I think it's weird that they changed Babatunde's name to Dabakoto, because I feel like that was like a weird Vince thing where they were like, all right, this is Babatunde. We got this big guy named Babatunde. And he went, what? Dabakoto? And that's his name.
That's how they did it?
That's his name now. I think they got unnecessary shit for having the dancers. I think the dancers added to it.
People were saying, bring back the dancers.
They need 10, not 3. They need 10.
10 dancers.
10 dancers.
I know somebody that could get them entertainers.
You.
I know me. I'm the guy.
It's you.
By the way, they're not strippers. They're entertainers.
Okay.
Let's
I didn't say
respect them.
strippers. I said dancers.
I'm just telling the chat room.
So like they need 10 dancers, and you know who needs to pop in every so often?
Who?
Godfather.
Oh yeah.
Just
Why
have
can't
him
he
show up?
I want it to be. Did you ever watch? You watched Always Sunny?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember the episode where Frank had all of his like Vietnamese gamblers downstairs?
Yeah.
I want that to happen there. Like I want
Right.
it to be like a bizarro shot in a corner where you have all these like
Gambling,
like gambling,
the APA
and-
stuff. Like you could have the APA in a corner. You know,
Yeah.
you could have like all this like cool, fun wrestling stuff
in
like,
that environment.
your tough guy characters or whatever, you know, and then have like the weird, the Shayna stuff I really liked.
Shayna looked really good.
Yeah.
Listen, you know what? You know what I like about it? 10 p.m. Raw Underground, and you're like, oh shit, I want to see this.
Kind of fun.
And this is 2 weeks in a row where they have made me want to stay till the end.
Yeah.
And that is the biggest problem that I have, because what happens with me, I watch till about 10 o'clock and I'm like, I'm really effing tired, man. And I just turn it off and I watch it the following day.
Take 6 Ambien.
6 Ambiens, and I just disappear. I turn into a marshmallow. Liv Morgan endorsed the dancers, and so did Mickie James. So I don't know. We'll see what happens here. I don't know what the final they're running 2 hot summer angles right now, right?
Oh yeah.
They're running 3 hot summer angles, which is a rarity. They're running the Antifa terror group. They're running Raw Underground, and they're running the Bray Wyatt stuff, which I kind of like this story.
Well, Dominic and Seth too.
Dominic and Seth also. Dude, let's talk about that.
He took a beating.
Holy moly.
Kid took a beating.
Like, I got to tell you, a lot of those. So something about wrestling, like when I've run ropes, like I've done some of the preliminary stuff, I could do it, right? I could do a tie-up. I could run the ropes. Little tumble. I could do some stuff, right? I could sell. I could do a really good punch. I cannot do more than like 2 minutes because I'll gas out. But running the ropes was one of the most painful things that I ever did.
Yeah.
I was super tan. I had just come back from vacation. So this was 2016, 17.
Does everything in your life revolve around you being real tan?
Yeah, always. That's all my memories has to do with the level of tan. Or it'll be like, yeah, I was not that tan that day.
When you bought your car, did you say, hey, to the dealer, hey, buddy, listen, I'm real tan right now. You want to give me a discount?
Yeah, pretty much.
2009, he was like, oh my God, you are tan. I'll give you like $2,500 off.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened. By the way, the biggest, if Billy Joel was a car dealer, this was the guy that sold me the car.
Oh, really?
Same thick northern
little piano?
Oyster Bay accent.
Did he have a little piano with
He
it?
had a little piano. He goes, I'm going to play Piano Man for you.
Oh, boy.
It's 5 o'clock on a Friday. You're coming to buy a car.
Here comes the Mat Man.
Yeah, that's what he did. So, I was like, okay, you know what? One of my friends, he's like, hey, we're running a show. Do you want to come by? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And I was like effing around in the ring. My back looked like Dominic's back from running the ropes.
Yeah.
So when I saw that the first line wasn't from the kendo stick, it was from his skin not being like strong enough for the ropes, and he got the rope burn. My God, though, it made me cringe a little
bit.
Like even in ECW, how is it that you never saw that?
Right, the back because when they showed the picture after all was said and done, where all the welts came to the surface, we were like, yeah, this dude Dominic took a beating.
Yeah.
Who okayed that beating? Because they haven't done something like that in a very long time.
No, but you know what? It proved its point. Seth looked like a lunatic. We'll see what happens with that. I'm curious about Dominic. I'm very curious about what they do with him.
Yeah, I call him Rey Mysterio Jr.
Jr. Dominic Jr. So I thought that was pretty cool. Raw Underground is interesting to me. I have nothing. Randy Orton and Drew.
That was fantastic.
Fantastic. They've been on fire. I'm glad that this is Drew's first real opponent.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, I'm thinking like, oh, you know what? Randy may take the title.
He's losing that belt, dude.
I'm not convinced that he won't. And that's good. You kind of want to feel that way.
I want a little back and forth, to be honest.
Maybe have them, maybe do it back and forth. But they need to get, Randy needs to go up there. 13-time world champion, right? 14, hit 15. I've always said the main story here has to be Granny Orton, Randy Orton, Triple H, and John Cena to see who takes, 17 world titles.
It's going to be between Cena and Orton. Because H is like...
But what a great story to tell.
It would be great. Yeah.
Or it's a great story that Hunter couldn't do it. He was one of the greatest, but he just wasn't John Cena.
How weird is it that the Evolution storyline from almost like 20 years ago is still playing out?
Yeah, Flair's still around.
Well, because like Triple H took care of Batista last year, or the year before, right?
Killed him. And Randy Orton killed Ric Flair on Monday. Yeah.
Yeah,
Flair, I think it was time for Flair to leave TV.
Okay.
I think it was time. It's less is more.
It's nice seeing him.
Less is more. Have him show up every now and then. Can you imagine Hogan on TV every week?
Can I? That's the thing. Like, where would you put let's for 2 seconds.
Yeah, please. Let's do it.
At this
chat room, join in on this.
At this point in time, where would you stick Hogan? Unless, like, the only place I can put him in is him getting choked out by Bray Wyatt.
By Bray Wyatt?
Yeah. Where Hogan shows up, but he's just like, brother this and brother that. And he's like, the Fiend shows up and like mandible claws him into the mat.
Rockstar Spud.
Oh, yeah.
Him and Jake Maverick.
Okay.
He's gonna groom him
to be
like Hogan. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. That's what I would do. I don't know. Where do you put Hogan? That's actually a great question. All podcasts lead to Hogan, Eric. He's absolutely right in the chat room.
Well, also like, because the WWE for the past few years has done very interesting stunt casting as far as the legends they bring back, right?
Yeah.
So like they're oddly heavily relied on Goldberg for like the past few years
to have matches,
right? And listen, they're not like, I guess he's still a draw, and they're also not that great, right? Like the Goldberg stuff isn't that great.
It doesn't need to be.
Yeah, no, it doesn't need to be. And there is definitely going to be like another Austin thing happening. Rock showing up at some point. Hogan showing up at some point, these are the guys that are left that they're going to rotate. Like the days of Sheik and Hacksaw as the legends they bring out, those are done.
So I think, those days are done. But I think like you have, obviously Hogan can't have a match, but Rock can.
Right.
He could have one more match. I think for Rock, it has to be Roman.
Yes.
It has to be Rock and Roman. That's such a big mega money match.
Or Rock Triple H again.
Rock Hunter is another one where, these guys, but you got to either make it a one-off or make it a something that brings someone to a different level. And I think for Rock, Rock said Daniel Bryan, he wants to do something with Daniel Bryan.
Amazing.
I don't want to see that.
I would love to see that.
I really don't, because there's too much of a size difference. Way too much of a size difference.
But the storyline of Daniel Bryan could be like, look at you. Like, you don't care about the world. All you do is care about yourself. You have your tequila. You have your dumb movies.
Yeah.
You got this and that. You own the XFL. F you. He's like, I'm the planet's champion, and he's doing it for Mother Earth.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there is a story. I personally, I really want to see him and Roman. And I think because you have such a great story there where Rock says, like, listen, man, you're embarrassing us. You embarrassed the family. You had all these opportunities handed to you. And they showed, the photo, that Royal Rumble moment where he raises Roman's hand and they boo him. He goes, I haven't been booed in years. Even when I was bad, even when I was doing the bad things, I was still cheered. And you made me get booed.
So Rock's a heel in the situation.
Yeah, I would turn him into a heel.
Okay.
And then you'll obviously do the flip in the match.
The Rock coming out on top as a face?
Rock
or Roman turning,
no, you do the Hogan Rock moment.
Okay.
Roman becomes the heel, Rock is the baby face, and Roman wins.
Okay.
You make Roman win this match.
Do you think that's going to be that weird next Hogan versus Rock thing?
Yeah.
Where it's Roman versus Rock?
Roman versus, yeah.
And then that's
what I want to see. I really want to see that. And it's interesting. Sometimes like a match, like you don't imagine like you want to see it. Like that I really want to see.
Yeah.
I really want to see.
I want to see Roman Reigns in a feud with everybody. What is that?
What the hell is that?
Is that an argument?
Yeah.
Or is somebody listening to reggaeton?
I don't know.
Do you want me to check out? Do you want to look out the window?
Oh, hold on. Let me go look.
Yeah. All right. What's up, guys? I don't have any laptop in front of me, so I can't field your questions. But yeah, man, I would love to see Rockin' Robert. Andrew's going outside right now to check on what could possibly be some kind of barroom brawl happening. Now, the play-by-play is Andrew leaving. I can kind of hear what's going on. Oh, so I was right. Yeah. Was it Bad Bunny?
Yeah, listen to Bad Bunny and just dancing on my lawn.
I like that. Little talkie-talkie?
Yeah. So, I don't know. Let's see what happens. Mm-hmm. Let's see. I'm curious about what happens. On the SmackDown side, however, I really like what they're doing with Bray. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I love it. I think he's the best part about SmackDown. And AJ Styles.
He is, yeah.
It's very distracting.
It is very distracting. I have no idea what the hell's going on there. I'm so sorry, guys. There's like a war happening outside of my house. I can't stop hearing it. Mm-hmm. So SmackDown is doing okay with that stuff. Mm-hmm. Who do you think the Anthem members are going to be?
I think it's going to, so Pat McAfee's fighting Adam Cole next week, right?
No, face off.
No. I'm like at the Takeover.
At Takeover, yeah.
Right, at Takeover. Next week on NXT, they're doing a face-to-face like debate or whatever you want to call it. As much as I want what are they calling them? The Revolution?
Is that what it is?
As much as I want it to be Undisputed Era, I think it's going to end up being Ciampa, Dijakovic, Gargano, and somebody else, like Dakota Kai or something.
So none of the people portrayed are the people right now.
Right.
So Retribution.
Okay. As much as I want it to be Undisputed, I think it's going to be like, Ciampa, Dijakovic.
But what are they? But
Gargano.
Like, Retribution for what?
Not being paid attention to.
These guys were top. No, they were all the top guys in NXT. Like, what's the Retribution? This is a great storyline for CM Punk.
Yes.
I don't know if it's him. I don't think it is. But my God, what a great. You want WWE to pop.
The voice of the voiceless.
Voice of the voice. Retribution. You guys put me through hell, and now I'm here to destroy what you have. And he would be great in that role. I'm not saying it's him. I have no proof, but just mentally, fan fiction wise, great story.
Also, it doesn't necessarily have to be an NXT guys.
I don't know who it could be.
It could be dudes who are like not written off TV, but like, what if one of them ends up being Rusev?
Oh, for Retribution?
Yeah. Some of the dudes that were fired, maybe they brought him back.
Yeah.
Jinder?
Who could be? Well, Jinder came back and was hurt, so he won't.
Okay. Is he still hurt?
He wasn't fired.
Okay.
So who could? You know what? Maybe the fired guys. Who got fired?
Rusev.
Okay.
That is not signed to anywhere, right?
That's not signed to anywhere. Yeah.
Rusev.
Okay.
That's all I could think of.
That's who else? Yeah. Who else?
Because like Myers and
they're signed.
They're signed. Gallows and Anderson are signed. Heath is signed. Who else? Who else got fired?
God, it was such a long list.
I forget, right?
I don't know. I'm very curious on who could this be. Mm-hmm. Either it's going to be a tremendous payoff, or it's going to be nothing.
Aiden
English. What if it's what's his name? Shit, forgot his name. My God,
Kevin Owens.
No, maybe it's Sami Zayn. Sammy could be
a good one. Yeah.
I don't know. Mike Bennett. That's the one. Sorry, Mike Bennett. No, Mike Bennett's signed. Mike Bennett's gone.
Is he signed with Impact?
Baron. Who?
Marcus Corvon.
No, who was I got bad news? God, my brain.
Wade Barrett.
Wade Barrett. Yeah, Wade Barrett. Maybe. I don't know. Bo Dallas. No Way Jose.
No Way Jose was fired, right?
Yeah, they were all like, but I mean, there's no impact with that, right? Curtis Axel. That was surprising. Mm-hmm. That was very surprising for him. But he had to go.
Okay.
He's a guy that I would love to see reinvent himself.
Okay.
Come out as he's a phenomenal worker. I mean, one of the best that they have as a wrestler.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a guy that trains with everybody.
Xavier.
I'm holding. I'm still giving it time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still giving it time. I don't think it's going to be CM Punk, but it has to be a big impact.
Yeah.
You know, what are you going to do? Mustafa Ali?
Sure. Yeah, it has to be. It has to be worth it. It has to be good. It has to be something new. I think a combination of NXT guys and other guys, because like I think the danger with getting like a Rusev is how much into that storyline does he go back to being Rusev Day?
I don't think his promos would fit that narrative.
Mm.
You know, this is a angry someone that's been scorned by the company, someone that's angry, hasn't had an opportunity, it's been taken away. You know, I don't know who could fit that role. I really don't. It's one of those, who is this?
Batista.
Oh, why is Batista on my TV?
Are you trying
with
to
a
watch
Band-Aid on his face?
Are you trying to watch My Spy right now?
I am. Yeah, my spy's on my TV.
Would you be okay with it being undisputed? And my
No.
Really?
I don't want it to be undisputed era at all.
Okay.
Zero. I think they have an act that already works.
Okay.
They have their gimmick. They have their characters. All four of those guys. First of all, Bobby Fish is such a gnarly looking dude.
They all are.
He's so grizzly now.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most underrated guys on that entire roster is Bobby
Absolutely.
Fish. Kyle O'Reilly looks like he's Amish now with the beard.
Mm-hmm.
That beard really disturbs me.
The reason I say it could possibly be undisputed,
It could.
is it fits their MO, right? It gives them something new if they go to Raw and SmackDown, right? But also, I don't know if you've noticed, they are looking a little more TV jack lately.
They are, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Bobby Fish looks wide.
Yeah.
The other thing,
That's always the sign when somebody moves up.
Yeah.
It's like they get a little bigger, you know?
what if it's Heyman leading him?
Nah, thank you.
That's another good question.
That's stupid.
I don't know what to do with Heyman.
It's Brock Lesnar.
Imagine it's Brock Lesnar. You know what?
It's Brock Lesnar and Ryback.
I got to tell you one thing that I hated about this thing on SmackDown when they started cutting the ropes and stuff. They were jumping up and down like idiots, like celebrating.
Yeah.
And I would have taken that out.
Right.
I would have said, reshoot this. You guys look like clowns.
Yeah.
I did not like that at all. I thought that made them look stupid. Like you're jumping up and down in a ring celebrating. No, you're supposed to be scary. You're not jumping and cheerleading in the ring that you cut the ropes.
Right.
I don't know. You know, that I remember how impactful that Nexus storyline was.
Yeah.
When they came and they started, you know, Daniel Bryan was choking Justin Roberts with the rope and everything. It was so impactful, and it just went nowhere.
What if it was Daniel Bryan?
What if it is Daniel Bryan? It could, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm hoping it works. I really hope it works. I don't know. I've heard nothing. This is their hot summer angle again. They have multiple of these. They're just trying everything right now. But it's bringing attention to SmackDown. When is the last time we spent this much time talking about a storyline on Raw?
Or yeah, exactly. I mean, like the programming has gotten. It's not so much as a parallel move like it used to be. Like the programming has gotten better, but you know, like the strong points for the last couple of weeks have been really strong.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Big time.
Except changing Baba Tunde's name to Dabakota.
That bothered you, huh?
Really
I want it to be Baba
I don't
Tunde.
know why it really bothers me.
Me too. I don't know. I like the name Baba Tunde.
Dabakota's okay too.
So cool stuff happening on WWE side. Let's see where it goes. I'm hoping that continues and they do well. AEW, NXT last night, both pretty good shows.
Very good shows.
I thought last week's AEW was a better show, but this was fine. This was good.
Both of them were very good.
Very good.
I liked a lot of stuff that NXT did. I really liked the Timothy Thatcher like tutorial promo.
Yeah.
I really enjoy watching Bronson Reed. He had like a fun match with Bronson Reed and Damian Priest.
Yeah, that was good.
Main event was not. What was the main event yesterday? Main event was Dream.
Yeah.
Cameron Grimes and this guy.
And then Balor came out.
Yeah, and then Balor, which was cool because like. So like they're leading into like the that big match, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Very fiery promo by Adam Cole. Great promo,
great
looking
promo.
straight at the camera, threatening.
They all look. That's what I'm saying, man. They all look big yesterday.
Pat McAfee.
Yeah, Pat McAfee. I'm looking forward to that. The Karrion Kross may have the best entrance in pro wrestling right now.
McAfee or McAfee?
I always said McAfee.
McAfee.
But I'm wrong.
Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pat McAfee.
Karrion Kross is the best intro in pro wrestling right now.
Phenomenal intro. Love that contract signing.
Great look. Got fireballed.
Really good look, man. He's so good. Nice, scary character. It's, you know what it's almost like? This was kind of the idea they had for
Kane?
No, for Black, for Aleister Black.
Yeah.
And he didn't have the look, the size.
Which is a shame, right?
It almost feels like that. Like this is a redo of that.
Yeah.
Imagine him doing that main event storyline. They kind of forgot about that dude, man.
It sucks. You know what?
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Tommy Young. Tommy End.
Tommy End, yeah. It's unfortunate, or Johnny Bad News, I like to call him.
Johnny Bad News.
It's unfortunate that it holds true. If you're a body guy and you have any kind of cool shit going on, you will
catapult.
Yeah. You know, if you like Keith Lee, not a body guy, but he's an attraction. Right?
Yeah.
Big dude, could do a lot of cool stuff. Karrion Kross, solid in the ring, good promos, great look. Dude's a body guy, right? Big dude. Look who are the two guys headlining SummerSlam. Body guys.
Big dudes.
Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre.
Yep.
Both could
big
work,
dudes.
both could talk. You know, like that big dude thing is there. That, do you think that's going to hurt Adam Cole?
That he's small?
Because he does have that Shawn Michaels
he does
charm and ability, right?
Listen, he's one of the most talented guys, like top to bottom, right?
Absolutely.
Total package.
Absolutely.
If he just put on a little bit more size, it would be a very different discussion.
Look at Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan buffed the F up.
Yeah. He got beefy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope not, but it's going to be very difficult when he's facing guys that are way larger than him. You know, his gimmick is cool. He's cool. He's great in the ring. Great seller, great worker, but he's been working with guys similar to his size.
Right.
You know, there's a whole generation of guys that are much smaller.
On the other side of the spectrum, Sammy Guevara is a dude who looked like he put on a bit of muscle mass when he started, and so do Santana and Ortiz.
Santana and Ortiz, yeah, another
Sammy,
two guys.
They're putting on that muscle. Are you getting a message from outer space? Right now?
I am. Yeah, sorry.
So it's kind of interesting when you look at that.
It's my homeboys in outer space.
When you look at that, the rosters on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and AEW, and I'll throw Impact in there too. You know, like Ethan Page, great example. That dude got effing jacked. Right? Do you remember we used to see him in Evolve?
Oh my God, he's so ripped now.
Yeah,
and he was like a chubby guy,
chubby dude, and it's very fascinating how like that does it, right?
Just get on TV. You know what? Sometimes things click, and that guy's a very talented guy. He's going to be a big star in wrestling. Ethan Page is going to be a tremendous star in wrestling.
He's great.
If he isn't, it's a total injustice because the guy is really good in the ring and really good on promos. Very believable in the character he does. I really hope to see he does really well. By the way, talking about Evolve, it looks like here's some news.
Right.
Starting in 2 days, so Saturday, Evolve, WXW, and Progress will be on the WWE Network. It's not gonna be their entire archives. They're gonna release certain things, but it does look like the entire archives are gonna go on there. So you're gonna see my mug a lot on the Evolve shows. You're gonna see a lot of that. I'm excited to see that because a lot of the shows I haven't seen on TV because I've been there. I'm shocked about WXW. That's a fascinating acquisition.
That's the
for
Scottish
the
one, right?
No,
German.
German,
Right?
yeah.
Okay.
A lot of David Starr on that, so I don't know how that's gonna work.
Ooh.
So Progress, WXW, Evolve, and somebody else. I forgot what else.
ICW.
ICW? I don't know. I got to look at it.
ICW.
Here we go. Right now, this is what's coming out and more actually. So this is according to Sports Illustrated. Evolve WX. Oh, it is ICW. Kind of will begin airing on the 15th. This current run I'm doing does not happen without independent. Oh, Drew McIntyre said it. So you're gonna have a bunch of stuff on there. It's gonna feature a best of Keith Lee and Drew McIntyre. Other shows to be released, including ICW Suge's Who's Party Night 2 from 2018, WXW Femme Fatales 2019, and a whole bunch of other shows. So we'll see what happens with this. I think this is very interesting, and it builds their library, and more wrestling the better. First run programming for a lot of people. They have never seen it.
I want to see a lot of the Walter stuff too that they haven't shown on American television.
Yeah.
You want to go through that NXT card real quick?
Let's do it.
All right. So I'm looking forward to this. It's so far 4 matches: Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, Cameron Grimes, Johnny Gargano, or Ridge Holland versus Finn Balor or Velveteen Dream.
Okay.
For ladder match for the NXT North American Championship.
I'm excited for that. That card is great.
Yeah. Who do you think takes it?
Let me pull up the card here. Let me just see. Say the names again.
Bronson Reed.
Okay.
Who are you talking to?
No one.
Damian.
No, I'm typing up NXT Takeover 30.
Bronson Reed.
Okay.
Damian Priest, Cameron Grimes versus Johnny Gargano or Ridge Holland versus Finn Balor or Velveteen Dream.
Do you put it on a Finn Balor? Do you put it on a Johnny Gargano? I'm gonna say Gargano takes it. Let's. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah. Let's see.
I feel like Finn Balor is gonna take it.
Balor? Okay.
Yeah.
So Balor beats Velveteen.
I feel like Balor beats Velveteen, and then
Okay.
you have him because he hasn't really been on anything.
Okay.
And plus you always want to see the coup de grace from the top of a ladder. Right?
Hate that move.
I know you do.
Ugh.
Io Shirai versus Dakota Kai, the match that rhymes.
Io Shirai takes it. By the way, great video package for that match.
For Dakota Kai?
Yeah.
Good promo.
Yeah.
I was never hot on her until she turned heel.
Yeah, she's good.
She's been doing very well. Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee.
I
McAvoy?
say Pat wins. Undisputed turns on Adam Cole.
Ooh. And Pat's a new leader.
Yeah.
I think it's just gonna be like a straight beatdown
of Pat.
Yeah, absolutely. Unless he brings like his boys. Like,
I don't know.
Who are the other football guys in WWE? Riddick Moss,
Bill Goldberg,
yeah. Gronk,
yeah. The Refrigerator Perry, Mongo McMichaels,
and then your headline is Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross.
I think they need to be careful with this match with Keith Lee and Karrion Kross.
Why is that?
Because Karrion Kross is really hot right now.
Put the belt on him, right?
Do you put the belt on? Do you take it away from Keith Lee? Keith Lee just got the title.
I think you need a heel for that belt right now
to chase it.
Yeah.
I would not. Either win, I would understand and I'd be fine with it. I think Karrion Kross beating Keith Lee would add the OMG moment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Karrion Kross is going to lose clean in his first title defense.
Right.
I always have a problem when you create a hot character that will be a future star, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's going to be obviously a main roster star in the year or
Absolutely.
two. So when you have, and AEW has the same exact problem, by the way. When you have these guys that are very good at what they're doing and you put them in a title match too early, it kind of takes it away.
Plus no crowds.
So is this the moment to do? I don't know. I'm curious to see. I think they're both phenomenal acts. I think Karrion Kross and Scarlett is a phenomenal act that is made for the main roster.
I think heel champions translate better in WWE with no crowd.
Yeah, always.
Always. Because then when the crowds come back, you want to cheer. Like that's why I think Orton's winning that title. And then you get once crowds start happening, you get that Papa Drew winning again. I'm looking forward to Takeover. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, next Saturday. I can't believe it's SummerSlam weekend already.
I think Karrion Kross is gonna gorilla press Keith. Yeah,
and he falls on him like a cartoon.
No, I think it's gonna be like one of those things where it's like he gets him up, and people are like astonished, almost like picking up Andre. You know?
Well, unless they do a dusty finish, which I hate. I hate the screwy finishes. We'll see. Very excited for this. AEW last night. Very good show.
A lot of fun.
It was Tag Team Appreciation Night by AEW.
How much do you love the Rock and Roll Express?
Hey, man. I can't believe those guys are still on TV.
Still doing it, dude.
You know what's amazing, though? They did not exist in the era that we watched wrestling.
Right.
Like, barely. Like, they were old then.
Well, we were also Northeast guys.
We were Northeast guys, right?
You know? And the only access we had were like maybe a VHS tape or like a magazine.
How old are these guys?
60s. Gotta be.
Hold on. Let's find them.
I'm gonna say Ricky Morton's like 62.
Ricky Morton is 36 years old.
Holy shit, dude. Tough life. Tough life for this guy.
Robert Gibson is 40.
Whoa.
Tough life for these guys. 62 and 63 for these guys.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I remember seeing some WCW stuff with them, but they weren't. I remember they looked old then, and they were treated like they were teenagers.
They probably were.
Right? Like, but you got to remember, they debuted in 85.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't debut that long ago. They existed in the Hulk Hogan era.
Right.
Right? Like, it's crazy to think about. They debuted for Jim Crockett in 85, 85 to 88. That was their, like, peak. And then they did 88 to 92. They were NWA, WCW. Then they were all over the place. Smoky Mountain, USWA, WCW, WWF. I remember when they had the WWF run. I remember the last WCW run that they had that was terrible. They were just old guys. They just disappeared.
Yeah, but not, well, they still kept working. They out of the limelight.
Out of the limelight. And these guys made this tremendous comeback. That match that they had, what was it, WrestleMania weekend. Where did they have this unbelievable match that blew my mind?
Well, I want to say Hardy had a lot to do with the resurgence of the Rock and Roll Express.
You think so?
Yeah, because weren't they included in one of his Impact broken videos?
They were, yeah, they were in one of them. But they had this unbelievable match that I watched like a year ago.
Oh yeah, no, when Ricky Morton did a Canadian Destroyer.
Yeah, when was that? When was that? I forgot.
Last year.
That was last year. I forgot against who. But holy moly, these guys are. They're still working. They're still out there. It was good to see them out there. Arn and Tully was unbelievable.
Both of those dudes on the mic, there's a reason why the Horsemen are regarded as such.
The greatest. Yeah, one of the greatest.
I can listen to Arn talk for a very long time. Tully going nuts on the mic is fantastic. And it brought me back to those NWA promos that they used to cut, right? Tully calling out Arn for the Cody logo.
Yeah.
Basically like, yo, why are you helping Dusty's kid?
Yeah, when we hate him.
Fantastic. So now, do you think Tully is putting together his own Horseman almost?
I don't know, maybe.
He's JJ. You have Sean Spears.
Okay.
You have FTR.
Okay.
Who's going to be
the Flair?
Who's going to be the Flair?
MJF?
Yeah. He's got Wardlow, though.
I'm going to tell you, there's something about MJF that
makes you really horny.
Makes me no, there's something about him that I'm trying to figure out when the moment for him is.
It's not going to be this Moxley thing, you know.
I don't think it needs to be. No, I think he plays the chicken shit heel so well. I don't know when that moment is, but I want to see that moment come. And I think the TV title is going to be that title for him, the TNT title.
Yeah.
That has to be the title for him, that he does these, long promos and whatever. I think Cody's doing a great job of legitimizing that title. Yes. So whoever has it next has to be stepping it up. Yeah. 8 defenses. By the way, him and Scorpio Sky, the first time I believe he was going to lose that title.
Same here.
Very good job.
Yeah.
Like, I knew he wasn't, but I felt that he could.
I really thought they were going to give it to Scorp just because they did the big intro with Dustin, Brandy, and Allie, and what's his name? The other guy? QT Marshall?
Yeah.
Because usually the fanfare leads into the loss, right?
Is that? Yeah. I guess.
So, also Dark Order has come a long way from their debut. I
think they sucked when they debuted.
Absolutely.
I think they've been doing Evil Uno. I'm really into.
Yeah.
I think it's the gimp mask. I think those guys are really doing a good job, and everybody thought they were so cheesy, and everybody was making fun of it. Like, holy crap, they're doing a great job.
They're having better matches now. You know, I think they got used to the style and like all that stuff. So that's kind of, I like the overarching storyline with the Dark Order because they can show up anywhere, right?
They can show up anywhere, and they're involved in everything. There's like 80 of them. Brody Lee challenging for the TNT title again. I like that he had the dopey one with him.
The bunk belt?
The bunk belt, yeah. I thought that was cool. They just have a lot of talent there, between Lance Archer and everybody else.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these guys that are sitting back and will have a moment once.
Absolutely.
And again, you don't want to do top level TV. Unfortunately, top level TV with no audience.
Stacked roster.
Stacked roster. Yeah.
You have so much potential with like all these, like Scorpio Sky. I'm very high on. I feel like that dude can be such a, like, he can be such a utility player for them in the next few years because again, you don't know where these guys are going to end up, right?
Yeah.
Because people have signed short-term deals. I don't think anybody's really signed a long-term deal.
I think some have 2 year, 3 year deals. So you're already 1 year in.
Yeah, I can't believe it's been 2 months. It's going to be a year.
It's going to be a year and 2 months. Yeah. What did you think of the Jericho and what's the name match?
Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy.
Loved it. You know why?
Why?
That was Orange Cassidy is the perfect guy for Jericho to bump around with because Cassidy is a phenomenal in-ring worker, and Jericho knows he's going to be taken care of.
Yeah, I thought it was. I like that they have Mike Chioda back.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
Catching the bat, that was great.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. Big win for Orange Cassidy last night. Biggest win of his career. So let's see where this puts him. Chris Jericho's doing exactly what he's supposed to do: is put over these young guys, get them over legitimately, and create the stars, and kind of step back. I think that's it was done very well. It made a lot of sense.
Yeah. And plus you had the interference. You had Santana and Ortiz taking it was funny because I feel like that was a little like not too choreographed because it's wrestling, but it was like they came out at like the same time fighting best friends and then left at the same time fighting best friends. It was like a weird, like they came out of the both tunnels at like it was too choreographed for my liking.
So right now we only have one match announced for All Out taking place on September 5th. We don't know where it's going to be.
Yeah.
I've not heard anything about Chicago, but this may be an experiment to see if you could fill Jacksonville a little bit. They had fans, by the way. They did, from what I saw, AEW did an unbelievable job at taking care of fans. They separated them. They had a couple hundred fans. It wasn't random. You had to know somebody. Yeah. You had to be connected to somebody to be in the audience.
You got to be connected.
You got to be, which connected?
This connected.
What's the other one? That connects.
Cocaine.
Maybe
they knew a bunch of drug dealers.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just a bunch of drug dealers in the crowd. They did a very good job. There was a couple of people on Twitter were posting how they were doing it. You had people telling people like, "Hey, put your mask on."
Good.
They spaced people out. Let's see what happens. Maybe that was the experiment to see if you could bring in maybe 2,000 people into that building.
Sure. Japan did it.
Japan's not Florida, unfortunately. Luckily, fortunately for Japan, they're not Florida. So
how much do you hate Florida right now?
Hate Florida always.
I know you
don't like Florida. Sorry, guys. I know if you're from Florida, I'm so sorry. I could smell Florida.
I remember this very vividly. I went to Fort Lauderdale a few years ago, and then
I didn't talk to you for 3 weeks.
No, you were like, because I like Florida. I went to Fort Lauderdale, and you were like, your exact reaction was, why?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it's hanging out on the beach, eating tacos, drinking.
Yeah.
And you were like, F Florida.
It bothers me, man. I don't know. I have a lot of bad memories of Florida.
Okay.
A lot of bad memories. Childhood road trips down to Florida.
Sure.
Never ended well.
Okay.
Ever. Terrible.
Just left you there.
It's poison. Poison place.
Not even like South Beach. You don't like South Beach.
Hate it.
Really?
Hate everything about Florida.
Wow. I thought you were like a big Pitbull
I'd
fan.
rather be dead in New York than alive in Florida.
Oh boy.
I love Pitbull though.
Yeah.
Big MLS, by the way, did 3,000. Yeah, did 3,000 fans in Texas last night. So it's happening. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen sooner than later. And September could be a realistic moment for AEW a month from now to possibly do more fans. Maybe have 1,000 people in the crowd.
Yeah. You know what's gonna ruin it?
What?
All the older white men who want to bring back football and college football.
Oh yeah.
Because they really want crowds there, and that's how you get like a new outbreak.
Yeah, it's not going to look good. It's going to be
not a good look. Have you been watching basketball?
A little bit.
That shit is bananas now.
Oh, how they're doing the virtual fans. Yeah, I'm very impressed by it.
Yeah, like it looks great. The games have been great. Like
very impressed by it.
You know,
I honestly, the first time I saw it on ESPN, they showed like the highlights, and I couldn't. My brain was telling me it's a video game,
right? Yeah,
but I knew it wasn't. And I was having like a really my brain was melting in front of me where I couldn't tell if this was, the new NBA, whatever, 2K game or whatever,
right.
or if it's, real. it says a lot about where video games are right now and how realistic they look. And it says a lot about the technology that they're using to do this. I was very impressed by it. I think they've done the best.
Absolutely.
The best thing.
You don't like the cardboard cutouts in City Field?
I don't like anything about the Mets right now. They did win big last night, though.
I think basketball is going to be the savior if you want to watch live sports, just because like the finals are going to be next week.
What do you think? I know this has nothing to do with. By the way, Q&A segment coming up, guys. Submit your questions in the chat room. We'll do our best to answer them. I'm the only one with a laptop, and I never learned how to read, so this may be difficult for me.
I know, it sucks, man.
So we're gonna do our Q&A segment here now. So submit your questions now. What do you think of the extra inning rule in baseball right now?
I was already asked about this.
What do you think of it? Did I ask you it?
No, I was asked about this on Twitter. I wish my default sports guy answered. My sports guy was here to answer this question.
Okay.
If it's not carried over into a regular season, it's fine for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm afraid it will carry over. I absolutely hate it. It makes no sense for me. And it's the same response. Everybody is regurgitating the same response of, well, it's to prevent 13, 14, 15, 16 inning games.
Right.
You know how often that happens? 5 times a year?
Sure.
So for that 5 times a year, you're going to ruin 9th inning, 10th inning.
Right.
For everybody, which happens a lot. You go into the 9th and the 10th. I hate it. It makes no sense because the team up to bat always has the advantage.
Right.
Because if you score that run, psychologically, you are now, it's a do or die moment for your pitcher.
Right.
It's not good. I don't like it. I think it changes the whole psyche of the game. Unnecessary.
Okay.
You could just say, listen, we'll deal, if we hit a 16, if we reach 16 innings,
let's just go home.
Let's just go home. Right?
Let's all shake hands and go home.
I mean, there's so many different ways you could do it. The 7 inning double headers are also terrible. I absolutely hate that.
Yeah.
Changes the whole freaking game because your whole I hate it. I don't like it. I don't like change.
I know.
I want things to stay the same always.
Is this the midlife crisis talking?
This is a midlife crisis. Yeah.
They say you should learn a new skill when you get a midlife crisis.
Is that how it is? Okay.
I think you should start playing the banjo.
Oh, great. I could play the guitar a little bit.
I'd love to see you play the banjo.
I could play One by Metallica.
Yeah.
Like the opening. That's it.
Like on the radio, you mean?
Yeah, on the radio. and the opening to Crazy Train I could do.
All right.
That's it. Nothing else. I don't know anything else. I'm
gonna bring my guitar next week.
Bom, bom, bom. Yeah, I can do it. You don't have to do anything. You just pick at it for the One by Metallica. Let's see. Here are the questions.
You're thinking of Nothing Else Matters.
No, one.
Okay.
100%. That's the only thing I know.
Okay.
The only thing I could do.
I'm gonna bring my guitar next week.
I bring it.
You don't have a guitar in this house.
I do have a guitar. Yeah. It was here. No, it's not over there? No, I guess it's upstairs. I got a nice Gibson.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, let's see. MLS did. All right, Q&A time, boys and girls. We're going to do our best to answer your mailbag questions here in the chat. Submit it in the chat. Can you guys do a drive men for Patreon? You guys drive around in the Mustang and talk about your first memories of wrestling. Favorite memories of wrestling. Stop and have some food at your favorite spot. I think that's a great idea.
We can do that. We can do that.
Yeah.
We can do like a couple. Like Suncast is going to have to edit it though.
Yeah. It'll be very loud. The car's very loud. How do you fix AEW's women's division?
By adding more women. Oh.
No, you need more broads.
I think, unfortunately, and I hate to say this, with Britt Baker being injured, they took a hit.
Yeah.
And also, like, they're not, I think they're not as polished as they thought they were going to be.
They're not as polished as they thought they. Well, here's the thing. They relied, not saying heavily, but they did rely on a lot of the Japanese talent, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then they can't work. Obviously, they're in Japan. They can't come here, so that kind of hurt them. They're also, this says a lot about women's wrestling, where WWE has monopolized.
Oh, forget it.
All the top women in the industry. I mean, obviously, there's some that are not signed, but like the Tessa Blanchards and the Charlottes and the Baileys and the Sashas, they are all gobbled up by WWE.
Well,
I mean, Tessa. I truly believe Tessa's going to WWE.
I think so too, but I think they just hired Rachel Ellering.
They did, and it was a terrible match.
Really?
Not good. No. Not good. You got to watch it. It was not good. You know, there is talent out there. I just don't think between what NXT, AEW, and Impact, NXT. I'm sorry, NXT and WWE and
Raw,
Impact.
SmackDown. Yeah.
I think they're all taken. I think a lot of the top stars are taken, and it says a lot about women's wrestling that they're being signed to major contracts. I'm sure there's a couple out there, but you can't rely on a division with a couple.
Right.
And they're only going to get, listen, they're going to get better. They're going to figure out what to do. Unfortunately, they don't have a heavily stocked female roster on AEW. It's not their fault. I know that that's a major push for them, but they just don't have the talent because it's all taken somewhere else. Will that change in a year or two when a lot of people are being let go from their contracts or their negotiations? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Can I see a Sasha Banks leaving WWE and going there? Sure.
Right.
Can I see that happening? Yeah, and that's when it will do it. The other problem is, from women's wrestling, the lifespan of a female wrestler compared to a male wrestler, top stars, it's cut in half.
Right.
And it's just the nature of it. You know, it's very difficult to be on the road when you have kids.
Right.
When you get married and now you have kids and now you got 2 kids and you're going to wrestle full time, it's impossible.
If you want to have kids.
If you want to have kids.
Yeah.
If you want to have kids, right?
Well, here's the other thing too.
Yeah.
I think the WWE, and I feel like I'm going to get a lot of shit for saying this, WWE has cornered a very good style of women's wrestling.
Yeah.
That's entertaining and believable. I think that's a big difference too. If you're going to compare AEW to that, even like the NXT, like all the women on NXT are amazing, you know, for the most part.
Yeah.
And I think they have that WWE training of you got to work big, you know. I think the AEW roster, like the females on that roster, they don't work big and they're not polished, you know. Like take Io Shirai, and as much as I love Hikaru Shida, take Io Shirai versus Hikaru Shida. I think Io Shirai looks more of a star.
Yes,
right,
100%.
You know, take let's see, take a Shayna Baszler also, throw her in there. Well, she's been around for a while, so that's not a really good example.
But Shayna's a great example of this, right? Not the best worker, but very believable.
Right,
very believable. It's the nature of the business right now. AEW didn't exist, and NXT WWE has invested a good 5 years into decent women's wrestling, really good women's wrestling. I just think it's going to take them a long time because of the lack of talent and the lifespan of the talent, right? By 30-something, a lot of them retire.
Right.
So a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them. You see this happen. You know, great example, Becky Lynch, the hottest female wrestler in the world a year ago, is out now.
Yeah.
And I don't think she's ever coming back to that level, ever.
But
it's impossible.
Here's the counterpoint to the argument we just had. Remember when Trish Stratus started getting in the ring?
Yeah.
And she was fucking terrible?
She was terrible, yeah.
I think you could, if you have that grit and stick-to-itiveness, like take Penelope Ford, great example.
Yeah.
She got a lot better.
Yeah.
And there's sky's the limit for her.
Yeah.
You know, I think she's going to be like the linchpin of that division at some point.
I think because she's willing to take risks and it looks impressive. It's almost like what Lita did, right? Lita wasn't the best worker.
Right.
Even at the end, like Lita was, it's a fascinating thing because you always say Trish and Lita. Trish was a better worker than Lita.
Yes.
But Lita took those high spots and it made up for all of it. And her charisma made up for all of it.
Well, I think that was also like the old mentality of I can't do a lot, but what I do is very, very good.
Yeah.
You know, like I think because that was like a Mick Foley philosophy too, where he's like, listen, I know what I can do and I do it very well.
Yeah.
And I think that translates, you know.
But wait, 7 years. It's been a 7-year investment by WWE for women's wrestling.
Also, on the other side of the spectrum, it's cool that a lot of the AEW product between Dark and Dynamite is showcasing new talent who have not had an opportunity on TV. And it's nice that they're actually saying like, hey, we're throwing you right into the fire. You know?
Great. And there's another TV show coming out.
Really? Dynamite and then Dunamite.
Well, Dynamite was staying online.
Okay.
And I think Dynamite eventually be gobbled up by...
You mean Dark?
I'm sorry, Dark. I apologize. Yeah, Dark. They're going to do something with AEW Dark. But there is another show that will be happening.
Okay.
I don't have much information because the the plague ruined that. It should have gone already. It should have happened already.
Yeah.
But, you know, with HBO Max happening and Turner Properties going on there, I could see them doing something.
Thunder.
AEW Thunder?
It sounds
Love
good. It sounds great. Right?
Love it.
What goes hand in hand with Dynamite?
Caves. Explosion. Caves. AEW cave. Let's see. What if Retribution is led by Triple H as a revenge for NXT stars being buried?
I don't know.
I don't want to see. I don't want to see
another
Hunter.
faction.
Yeah, I don't want to see Hunter in another faction personally.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Cross will eventually be pushed by WWE as the big Latin superstar? Is he Latin?
I don't know.
I didn't know. I didn't know that he is. I don't think so because he doesn't. Everything is bigger in WWE, so they want a Latin star to represent. I don't know. Is he? I don't know much about his background.
I'm gonna look this up right now. Killer.
Is he Latin?
Ross.
What's his background? He did wrestle in AAA.
Mm-hmm.
What's his personal life? Let's see. Personal life. He's in a relationship with Scarlett. That's it. Oh, he's of Central American descent.
He wrestled for AAA for 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think so. I don't
think he's the one.
I think much like Bailey, they're not going to push the Latino angle.
Yeah.
Even though like Bailey is a Latina, they don't do anything with it. You know, WWE likes their over the top Latinos. You know, so you
would not cut it. Would you cut it? No, you wouldn't cut it. If you went, you're like, listen, I'm Latino.
I'd be like guy number 2.
Guy number 2. Okay.
You could be guy number 1. Zelina Vega over the top, right? Andrade, all the cartel guys on NXT who I really enjoy. Maybe it's those guys.
Maybe it is.
Retribution.
Who?
You know, the cartel dudes.
No, I love that gimmick, man.
That's great, right?
Yeah, they're doing great on NXT.
Yeah.
Keep them there. How long until they start photoshopping Kamala Harris out of photos with Biden and putting Kamala the Ugandan giant? I think I've already seen a bunch of those because his last name is Harris. You know what was really funny? So when he passed away a couple days ago, last week, it was R.I.P. Kamala. And there is, for us, we know who he is, right? When we see him. A lot of people don't.
Oh, they thought it was Kamala?
And they thought this was a very racist, statement. And people are writing like, look at all these white people being racist and putting pictures like, this is what you think of this politician. This is what you think of this woman. And it took, and I'm reading it and I'm like, I don't want to be the one to be like, guys, Kamala's a wrestler. I don't want to put it out there. I just want to see this unfold. And it took like a couple hours to people like, oh, different Kamala.
There was a Facebook post, I don't know if it's fake or not, but it made me giggle. I think Derek may have sent it to me or you, where it was some lady posted on Facebook that she saw NWO t-shirts in Target.
Yes.
And was like, that's it. The Democrats are taking over. I can't believe they're allowing this shit in my store.
Yeah. Wild. Freaking great. I think that's hysterical. I love people's stupidity when they jump to a conclusion.
Oh, it's the best. It's high. That's my favorite kind of comedy, where the idiot who thinks he's the arrogant idiot gets his comeuppance.
Yeah. What does WWE do with Dominic after the Seth match? Does he stay on Raw or go to NXT?
I think he disappears for another 10 years.
I don't know, man. Listen, you know what he has though? He needs to get bulked up a little bit. Start training.
He has a
soft belly. He has a soft belly.
That's fine.
It's like a pillow.
Give him a vest with Roman.
Give him a vest like Roman, yeah. When Roman had a soft belly.
Does this lead to Samoa Joe making his in-ring return?
What a shame with that guy, huh? He's so good.
Yeah.
He's so good. I really want to see him. Are you surprised someone like Cena hasn't returned to help ratings? Yes, I am very surprised. But they don't want to use these guys with no audience.
Exactly.
That's what it really comes down to. And I understand. Listen, if you put me in this position where WWE is, I don't think I would be able to make that decision and say, let's blow. Because you know what happened with Austin?
Yeah.
Tanked. Bad. That was very bad. That was the worst Austin appearance in many years.
I thought it was funny because they kept cutting to the no crowd.
Yeah, I know. But they had no idea what they were doing,
Byron,
right?
Yeah.
They had no idea what they were doing.
Like Byron Saxton.
They tried their best. It just didn't work, and they don't want that to happen again.
Okay.
And Cena, by the way, did not do great for them during the whole SummerSlam, WrestleMania thing. I'm listing every goddamn pay-per-view.
Do you think they were like, "Hey, Cena, you want to come back?" And he was like,
Nope,
no thanks, and then did this.
You can't see me,
Mhm.
and he just poofed away. Do you think he's still having a mental breakdown after his Bray match because that whole thing was in his mind?
Yeah,
He was microdosed, and that it was a hallucination.
Storyline wise, I think he's in the swamp with Braun Strowman.
Yeah, got it. Cool. Who do you think will win the women's battle royal to fight Bayley at SummerSlam? I think it will be Tegan Nox. I have no idea.
Ooh,
That's a great question.
Again, very deep women's roster.
Very deep. Yeah.
How do you like the Natty and Lana team?
I don't know. Is that a boat? Is that us?
Oh, that's me. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Is that a signal?
I gotta get no.
Rich has to go. He's gonna disappear now. I want a button where I could hit it and it'll be smoke coming out, and it's empty. The couch. You're not there.
Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Where Natty was called the boat.
Yeah.
The best of all time.
Let's see. Cross the Central American. We said that. Do you think TNT executives leaving will have an impact? So it is interesting. So the guy that was really behind AEW has left, but there's tremendous amount of people within the company that they're for this. They find they're very happy with AEW. They're very, very happy. I don't think it's going to play a part in this. They realize that first run live programming is very important, especially in this time. Coming out of this, it's going to be even more important because there is going to be a shortage of ad revenue. And generally, first run programming generates the most amount of ads. You know, you look at TBS, like American Dad, reruns of American Dad on TBS. They get about 800,000 viewers certain times. That's phenomenal. But they don't get the ad revenue because it's a broad viewership.
Right.
You can't hyper-focus on this. So it's interesting. I think they're going to be fine. I'm not concerned with it.
Yeah, dude.
They're a freaking bargain when you look at it because I think USA for Raw is paying like $230 million, 200 and whatever million a year. They are very close with 18 to 24 with AEW. I think AEW beat them last week.
When was the last time you saw a brand of anything over-deliver like this?
I was thinking that. I don't know, especially with a niche program like this. I'm very, I'm very impressed.
Across
the board with what they've been able to pull in the position they've been put in. Considering NXT is competing with them,
right.
They're in their TVs generally the majority of the TV is run during one of the worst historical crises. Economically, health-wise, so it's interesting. I think they're very happy with them. I am hearing rumors that possibly NXT's moving.
That'd be great.
I think it's good for NXT. I think NXT benefits more than AEW.
Tuesday night, man.
What do you think those ratings will be? I think they'll hit 1 million.
I think
close.
Easily, I think if NXT moved to like a Tuesday or Thursday, they would do so much better.
I'm gonna say they're gonna be sitting in the 800s regularly. And then they'll have weeks where they're in the 9s and maybe 1 million, depending on a big match. I think for AEW, they'll be hitting probably in the 9s and the 1 million.
If they don't have the NXT.
If they don't have the competition. Yeah, because they're already in the 9s. Last week was 900-something thousand.
Crazy.
I don't know what it's going to be this week. I'm very curious to see this rating that comes out this afternoon. Because it is telling. I think a lot of people, they poo-poo on the whole rating conversation, but it is... For me, because I'm an ad revenue.
I love that stuff.
I'm an ad. I love that stuff. I love seeing the numbers and breaking it down because I could predict where we're going. I could see, I'm able to forecast, because that's what I do, essentially, for a living. I'm able to forecast where we're going to be in 6 months based on numbers that I see, based on trends.
And plus, they sold out of their action figures immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, Walmart, they have a Walmart exclusive, I believe, right?
There's a couple of Chase figures, but like on Monday... they came out on Monday and I went to eBay and a lot of those figures are already going for like $60.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Let's see. I lost my page here. Let's see what else we have. Do you think Payback is because Retribution takes over SummerSlam? I don't know. That's actually a good question. Payback is going to be on the 30th, the following week. They have not announced this.
So so that's when Retribution debuts.
At Payback. Is that what it is?
I mean, it makes sense.
Oh, that's your
yeah.
Okay. I guess maybe something happens and they're doing, this is, what it almost feels like? Tuesday in Texas.
Okay.
Maybe something happens and then they got to do a do-over and that's the Tuesday in Texas moment for WWE. That was I remember that day. they did a pay-per-view like the following couple days later. Which
It's
was
always
so
fun
weird.
when they do that. Yeah.
It is always fun because it's so out of nowhere.
Mhm.
I think Payback is going to be one of those. Interesting. Different, thinking out the box. Let's see. The Kamala thing was funny to me. Do you think Payback, Retribution, get Natty off my TV? That's what I think. MC Geek does not like him. Payback event has to be because Retribution destroys it. Don't you think? Possibly. What do you guys think of the new TNT title? It looks much better.
It looks great.
I don't like the smoothness behind the TNT of the main plate.
The reflective part.
I think they got to do, something with that.
Mhm.
But it looks much better. It's fine. I don't hate it. Is it me or does Kyle O'Reilly not look happy with Adam Cole? I think Kyle O'Reilly looks like he's Amish at this point, right?
I think he always looks like that.
Let's see. Do you think Naomi winning the Battle Royal would be disappointing? I don't know. I don't think it'll be disappointing. I think they could do something interesting.
I think if it was somebody like that you really didn't care about, I think you'd be like disappointed.
Yeah. Is
like
Liv,
if Natty won the battle.
if Natty won the battle, yeah, it would be another
or
match.
Lana.
Or Lana. Is Liv and Ruby the team to beat Sasha and Bailey? I don't know who that team is. They really don't have a lot of really good tag teams.
Iconics
for the women. Iconics, but they're going to be doing a singles run for Peyton.
Okay.
That's what I'm hearing.
Which one's Peyton?
Peyton Royce?
Which one's Peyton?
Not the... I guess they're both annoying.
See?
Not the brunette. Not the brunette.
Don't they both
One
have,
with the lighter hair.
Okay.
The one that was dating...
The one with the sharper nose.
Not the one with the sharper nose.
That's Peyton.
I don't know how to describe her.
She's a woman.
She's a woman.
Let's start with that.
Beautiful figure.
Uh-huh.
That's very pretty face.
Still both of them.
Okay. Brunette, but the lighter brunette.
Mm-hmm.
Who was she dating?
Is she the taller one or the shorter one?
The shorter one.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
the
Peyton
shorter one.
Royce.
Okay, yes.
And
Shorter
the other one? Peyton Manning?
Peyton Manning, the football player.
Who's the other one?
Liv Morgan.
No. The other iconic.
What's her name? Why did my brain stop?
Did you just
Why are you malfunctioning, man?
Massive brain fart right now?
I can't think of the names right now. I'm on a coffee high right now. Let's see. Kyle O'Reilly. Do you think Sonya wins gold by this time next year?
I don't know what they're doing with her. I
don't know either.
honestly do feel like she's gonna bounce.
You think so?
Yeah.
Where'd she go?
AEW.
Okay.
Or Impact.
Impact.
If she went to Impact, I think she'd get that Knockouts title immediately.
Under the Mask asks, do you see Orange Cassidy as a main eventer? I've tried and I just can't get it. I don't see him as a main eventer. I do see him as a really strong mid-card act for a portion of the audience. That is not me. I get it. I get it. Billy Kay, by the way. That is the name we were looking for. It was Billy Kay. I have no idea why I forgot her
You got
name.
Stuck in the Matrix.
I got stuck. Dude, it happens sometimes, man. It's really early. I haven't ate a thing. It's almost 1 o'clock. Jesus Christ.
We've been doing
the
this
show
for a
for 2 hours.
So, the Orange Cassidy thing, from my perspective, is he's a strong mid-carder. But again, he's proved that he can main event, right?
Yeah.
But for my armchair booking nerd shit, I think he's the main event that should be reserved for like that Mick Foley style main event, which he did with Jericho, where it's like, you ruined my shirt, you messed up my face, now I'm gonna kick your ass.
Okay,
like that kind of main event would be great.
Yeah,
with a lot of fire behind. Hardcore match. I'd love to see this dude in like a hardcore match with like Eddie Kingston or like Mox or something down the line.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Any truth that AEW is paying Matt Cardona in first run AEW figures? Yes, 100%. That's how he's getting 100%. Paid.
You know what? He's living that weird action figure dream where people send him shit.
Yeah,
because he loves it. I can chase these figures, or somebody can send him stuff.
Who's next for Cody at All Out? It's going to be Brody Lee. That's going to be
no, that's not All Out.
That's not All Out.
That's next Saturday.
So who? Oh, that's next Saturday. Right. Yeah.
So if Brody Lee doesn't win, I think Cody definitely drops that title at All Out.
I don't know who his opponent's going to be.
You know what would be friggin' amazing? You put the belt on the line against Nick Aldis's NWA title.
Oh, by the way, NWA is running TV with, I forgot who they're going to be doing it with, but they're going to be doing weekly pay-per-views.
Very cool.
On Fight.
Very cool.
I want to see an NWA crossover, though.
I want to see Cody with that NWA belt again.
Yeah, me too.
Go back and forth.
What a great... He looked great with that thing.
Finish the series. You know who I'd like to see with that TV title? Cole Cabana.
Cole Cabana. Okay. Why does all of Cody's fans turn on him after they debut? They hate him.
It's true.
Cody's just a dick. Nobody
That's
likes
true.
him in real life. Do you think AEW should hire someone like Jim Johnson to work on their entrance teams? Their entrance teams are the only thing lacking for me. Yeah, they need to do better with that.
No, they got one dude, that guy Ruckus.
He's
He
okay.
does all that stuff.
Yeah,
man.
but I think having a different element would work for them. I think they need to step it up a little bit.
So I would say CFO.
CF Money?
Yeah, because they got bounced from NXT, right?
WWE because of a dispute with Columbia Records. It had nothing to do with them. It was just they really like them.
Yeah.
But the guy doing their stuff now is pretty good too.
Yeah.
Whoever I forgot.
CFO is better, man. Listen.
Yeah.
Balor's theme, Nakamura's theme.
But they all had the same grand feel. You know what I mean?
Bobby Roode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very good. I would like SummerSlam back on the roof of WWE headquarters. Yeah, why not? I would love that. I would love the match on the roof. What's the biggest move you want to see in a WWE draft, which is coming in September?
Brock Lesnar to NXT.
Brock Lesnar to NXT. Can you imagine? I don't know. I haven't. I got to think more about that
For one day, because then you get Brock versus Walter.
I would love Brock. Brock versus Walter. Brock versus Keith Lee. I think what they need to do, and we're starting to see this, that it needs to be a soft.
Yeah.
We spoke about this a couple of weeks ago, where I think the champion, you need one title.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that there's two world titles, right? Universal and World.
Mm-hmm.
Have one, and have them be a traveling champion.
Mm-hmm.
Have the champions on every brand. That's how I would do it.
Yeah.
I don't think the hard split is working. Obviously, they have a very deep roster, but it's obviously not deep enough because you're seeing it in the numbers. So why not kind of combine the champions and have the champions on every TV show and do it that way? Especially now with less house shows. They're not going to be running a lot of house shows.
Right.
You know what was daunting? They were talking about the records yesterday on AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Cody is like 19-1 for the entire year.
Yeah, yeah.
He's had only 19 matches and he'll only have how many more, you know? In 9 months. 8 months.
Hey, listen, great schedule.
Great schedule. So why not have these guys on every show? Because it doesn't matter anymore. It really doesn't. They're not doing 4 house shows a week. They're not traveling up and down. They're in the same bubble. So might as well do something like that. I don't think we're going to go to a regular house show schedule for WWE for a very, very long time.
Oh my God, yeah.
They were losing money on house shows. And did you see their earnings a couple of weeks ago? We didn't discuss this, but they had they were expected to make $11.5 million in revenue. They did like 40-something million because of the lack of expense for travel.
Right.
So why are you putting on house shows that you're barely breaking even on?
It's not like it used to be.
It's not like it used to be. Limit the house shows. Have, X amount a week. You already have the TV taping, so you have Raw and SmackDown already running one show. Add one other show on the weekends.
Right.
Friday, Saturday, whatever. Friday you got SmackDown. So do a Saturday house show. And call it a day. Do 3-4 shows a week instead of doing everything else that you're doing.
It's interesting because the trend skews towards not doing stuff like that anymore. Because remember, like, that old saying was like 6 nights a week and twice on Sunday.
That's gone.
It's gone because, like, you know what? At that time, when that stuff was really hot, is because people didn't have entertainment like that coming to town.
Well, that's how you made money. There was no national TV deals paying you $200 million.
No Netflix, no streaming services, no internet. Now, of course, they're going to save money. And also, like, how many live shows have you been to where it's like, it's a decent crowd?
Yeah, it's okay.
Like, not
a couple
a packed
thousand
house,
people. I think we're going to restructure this. A couple questions. I would like SummerSlam back on the roof. We said that. What's the biggest move? Okay. I don't see college and pro football season lasting long. It's like baseball. Okay. If you were in charge of the draft, what's the one thing you would do? I kind of addressed it. I would just have the champions on the TV show and just keep it a soft.
One champ.
One champ go but by the way, IC champ going on everything.
Absolutely.
World champion going on, tag champions, whatever.
Yeah, one tag.
Guy. As September's approaching, is Mattman doing an intern Deacon birthday retrospect? A day in the lifestyle.
Who asked this?
Bob.
Did Deacon ask this?
Deacon's birthday.
He knows when
September
Deacon's birthday
4th.
is? Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
September 4th is Deacon's birthday.
I knew he was born on a day.
On a day.
I didn't realize it was September 4th.
Anthony says, I heard Tessa may be in Orlando. Potential spoiler. Possibly. I was told she's not doing anything until she gets married.
Wow.
Yeah. There's talks WWE is running Raw and SmackDown at the Amway going forward. We mentioned that. Bully on Busted Open Radio said he's been saying he would like to see a match eventually with Orton versus Charlotte with everything going on. I don't like the intergender matches. It's not my thing. it only works in specific situations where it's believable.
Mhm.
I don't think it works all the time. Listen, to each his own. Some people love it. I don't care for it. I don't like it. I don't like seeing it. I'm not going to turn the TV off, but it does nothing for me.
Wouldn't mind an RKO to Charlotte though. To
No, that's fine, but that's
further
heat,
emphasize,
right? That's a lot of heat.
Yeah,
I like that. In a heat purpose, it works. But the only way it's believable if you have someone like Tamina or Nia Jax.
okay.
You know what I mean? Going up against someone that's obviously a little smaller. I don't want to see a Braun Strowman and Alexa Bliss match. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah.
I understand that's like the most extreme characteristic to describe, but it just doesn't do it for me. How about you?
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I'm fine with it, but I'm fine with intergender wrestling, but it's not something. It's like I feel like that's more of the carny aspect of pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where it's like, watch a woman defeat a man.
By the way, I was a big proponent
Mhm.
of Ronda Rousey and Triple H.
Absolutely,
I love that.
absolutely.
I think Ronda Rousey's one. I think Shayna Baszler's one. You got to make it believable,
Right.
and it's a rarity. And if you do a one-off like that, okay, cool, fine. But if you make it a regular thing, I don't like Candice. Her, a lot of her career was intergender matches.
Right.
It doesn't sell it for me.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's bad. It just doesn't do it for me. Which
It's
is
personal
fine.
preference.
Personal preference. That's all.
And I know that's not coming from like a misogynistic place where you're like, how could I believe a woman could
Listen,
beat a man?
I also think the same about the extreme deathmatch stuff, right?
Yeah. Sometimes it's a little too much.
It's sometimes, but there are stuff like Casanova Valentine, right?
Okay.
I know I've had, it's funny. I met him here on Bell. I met him at press, and we were like kind of looking at each other like, hey, I kind of know you. And we started talking. I got to know him a little bit, and I started watching his matches. There is a place for this.
Right.
I
Absolutely.
get it. There is a place. By the way, he's coming on the show possibly next week.
Cool.
In studio.
Very nice.
He's back the week of August 26th, back in the neighborhood. So I think we're going to have him on. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Put him there. Unless you don't want to do it. Unless you don't sit on your lap. But
no, aren't we doing a little barbecue that day too?
yeah, let's do it. So maybe he'll hit us in the head with fluorescent tubes.
No, I'll pass on.
No, you don't want to do that?
No.
Okay. But like there is a place for that kind of stuff. I like it when it's done really well. When it's not done really well, it looks terrible.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest problem I have with it.
It's very cringy.
But it doesn't need to be my thing, and I don't need to poo-poo on your stuff.
Exactly.
Don't crap on my birthday cake.
Terrible catchphrase.
Yeah. That's my catchphrase. All right, and don't crap on my birthday cake, Jack. And I just walk away. And I carry a birthday cake with the candles. Yeah. All right. What about Chris Hero versus Cody at All Out? By the way, I saw that. I mean, we saw that match.
Yeah.
Summerslam weekend 2016. What a great match. And Chris Hero was such a great heel.
Absolutely.
There was a guy in the crowd that had a Dusty cardboard cutout.
Giant head of
Dusty. And he took that thing and he started beating the crap out of Cody with it. It was done so well.
Well, my favorite part of that, it was such a great pro wrestling moment in this sweaty high school
140
gym
degrees sweaty
with $3 buds and $3 Bud Lights, and the Chris Hero's beating Cody with the cardboard cutout of Dusty's head. And then Cody gets the upper hand, kisses the head, and then hits Chris Hero with it. And then they did like they were fighting on the
bar.
On the bar.
And that's when a certain person from WWE gave you a bunch of information
and said,
"What did he say to us? Do you remember?"
He said, we asked him a question, and he was like, I think it was a little bit of this. And then we asked him a question. We were like, "Hey, you're that guy," and he was like, "I am that guy." And we asked him a question. He was like, "Yeah,
but don't tell anybody.
You didn't hear it from me, and don't tell anybody."
Who was it? What was it?
It was Kane and Seaman.
No. But
it's because Seaman's on the case.
Seaman's on the case.
Seaman is everywhere. That's his other catchphrase.
That's his other one.
When they don't expect him to be in the room.
Yeah. Turn on the lights.
And they're like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "Seaman's everywhere." It was the signing of Cedric Alexander after the Cruiserweight tournament.
Yeah.
Where we were
that's
like,
what it was.
"Yo, you guys signed him, right?" And he was like, yeah, we did. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah. And then that's when we met the fake Shin.
We met fake Shin. That was very disappointing.
That was scary.
I remember running home and like giggling and like
that we met him.
Then like direct messaging him, being like, "Yo, dude, we met you. Can't believe it's so great." And he was like, "That's not me."
Dude, I'm in Philly.
He's like, "I'm like 2,000 miles away."
Dude, that guy's in the Matman group. The fake Shin is in.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
Awesome.
he still watches us. So
we need to have a battle of the Shins.
Oh, battle of the Shins. He was selling his DVDs, I think.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. What if John Cena shows up in NWO gear? I would love everything about it. And I know everybody would hate it except for me. I would freaking love it. Rich would love it. I wanted to do this.
Oh, absolutely.
That thing.
he'll do like that.
And then you know what he'll do? You know what he'll do after that? One of these.
Terrible. Terrible.
All right. On that note, time to wrap it up. Guys, we did an extended show. We did an hour 45 for you guys. We love each and every one of you guys. Remember to subscribe to us. Tell your friends about the show. If you're on Reddit, tell people on Reddit. Go on Squirt Circle and tell them all how much you love Matt Men is one of your favorite podcasts. Possibly next week we have a guest. I gotta work it out. We have a lot of things going on. This is fun. Next week we're also gonna do an NXT watch along, a AEW watch along, SummerSlam watch along. So a lot of shows coming in the next couple of weeks. We'll see you all next time.
Later.
Take care.